For those of you that want to build a bigger business, you want to generate more leads, more sales, you want to be the leader that you need to be to earn the income that you desire. How many of us have big goals, big ambitions? We want to build our dream team. We want to make 6 figures. We want to make 7 figures. We want to fire our bosses. If you want to grow your business and you want to grow your bank account, what do you got to grow first? That's right, yourself. You got to grow you, because everywhere you go, there you are. Everywhere you go, there you are. And it's really hard to build a significant income, build your legacy, build a dynasty, build an empire. It's really difficult to do that if you keep self-sabotaging. If you keep getting caught up in analysis paralysis, if you got that stinking thinking. How many of us are a little bit guilty of stinking thinking, right? Sometimes we ride the struggle bus. We always say you got to embrace the suck. I think we can all agree that sometimes we are our own worst enemy, right? We get in our own way. We overthink things. We get caught up in compare-itis. We compare our chapter 4 to someone else's chapter 14. How many of us know what I'm talking about, right? You get frustrated. I want you to exchange frustration for fascination. Instead of being bitter, I want you to get better. Work on you. Look, everything that you do in this type of business, the good and the bad, the results and the lack thereof, it's your fault. In my first year, because I've been in network marketing for over 20 years now, for those of you that know my story, I got started, I was broke, busted, and disgusted, had no background in business, no business being in business. You know, they said you could be from Yale or jail, and I'd been in jail before, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a punk, drunk, loser. I needed personal development. Now, I didn't get involved for personal development, but I ended up identifying the fact that, like, I needed to grow myself. I needed to work on me. And I remember my mentor, and she would say, every time I'd come up with an excuse, I don't know that many people, I'm not good at this, or I'm not comfortable doing public speaking, or, you know, this month sucks, like whatever. She'd be like, excuses or results. You can make money or make excuses, but you can't do both. Gosh, anything I would say to her, excuses or results. You either give me an excuse or you're making money. You're creating a result. Which one? Choose wisely. It's like, okay. So the more she communicated that, and the more I worked on myself, and the more I heard success stories, and I realized, like, I was my own worst enemy. It was my insecurities. It was my ego, right? Ego stands for edging God out. Your ego ain't your amigo. Write that down. But it was all mindset. You know, I would speak a lot of death. How many of us ever heard life and death is in the tongue, right? The good book says life and death is in the tongue. So you have to be very careful what you think about, and even more so careful what you speak about, because that's what you bring about. The very first book that used to be encouraged all the time, and it's not encouraged like it used to be. It was that first book that like rocked my world. Think and Grow Rich, Thoughts Are Things. I would recommend all of you download that on Audible. It's an app where the narrator reads the book to you, right? I didn't read it. I'll be honest, I didn't read it. I've never really read a book from front to back, from cover to cover. I've always been a listener. So I listen to books. I listen to podcasts. I listen to stuff. That's how I consume, which also I used to feel like a loser. I felt like there was something wrong with me because I couldn't read a book. It's not that I couldn't read. It's that I'd read 10 pages, like they said, read 10 pages a day. And I would read 10 pages a day and I'd be like, what did I just read about? I like totally forgot. But if I listened or watched, I would absorb the information way more. And it was just so impactful, right? Because so many of us speak death over ourselves, over our spouse, over our kids. You know, you hear these people say like, oh, you know, my team is dead, right? Oh gosh, I don't even like saying that. Ugh, take that out. Like they're literally speaking death over their own team. Or they de-edify their own husband. They literally talk smack about their spouse, their wife, their kids. They talk badly about, you know, their own body. They talk bad about themselves. They self-shame themselves. They don't like the way they look. They don't like their teeth. They don't like their smile. They don't like their hair. They don't like their whatever it is, right? And, you know, it really is a matter of you know, just having gratitude and having a perspective, because I want you to look at it like this. At least you have a team. Right? Somebody says, my team isn't doing anything. Well, at least you have a team. There's people out there that have a team of none, or they have a team of one. They have themselves, right? There's people out there that, you know, look, I love the what's the saying? How's it go? I felt bad for the man with no shoes until I met a man with no feet. So it's just a matter of changing up your perspective. It's a matter of looking at things differently. As Tony Robbins says, change your perspective, change your life. Instead of having frustration and, being discouraged, be encouraged and be grateful. So I really want you to understand what you have your hands on. And I need you to work on you because mindset is everything. But if you're constantly emotional and easily triggered, my upline did this, and my downline did this, and my spouse this, and my kids are crazy, and like you're always complaining. Be solution oriented. There's so many people that focus on the problems and the challenges. Like, okay, great. Did you think it was going to be easy? If someone told you it was easy, they lied or they were confused. How could anything worth anything be easy? Like I've been working out quite a bit the last several years and I don't have crazy results. I'm not that much stronger, but I tell you what, I went and had my annual tests done. And not only do I have less body fat, I have more bone density, more muscle. So it's just chipping away every day, chipping away. You get rejected all month long, chipping away. You're like a farmer, right? You're planting all these seeds. And then through your content, through your relationship building, through your marketing, you're watering the seeds you've planted. I've got people joining me from weeks ago, months ago, and years ago. Why? Because I kept showing up, because I kept working on me. It's funny. People will invest all this money into home repairs, car repairs. They'll invest money into their backyard, their landscaping. They'll invest money, spend money, actually not even an investment. They'll spend money on different things that don't have an ROI, that don't pay dividends, that don't pay you back. Meanwhile, they won't invest in themselves. They won't buy the books. They won't spend the time. You're busy. Busy doing what? Busy being busy or busy getting rich? Busy getting wealthy? Like if you aren't where you want to be, you already know the deal. It's your fault. Now here's the good news. I got your back because I'm sharing the secrets. People don't talk about this enough. They don't talk about this enough. Thoughts are things. What you speak about, you bring about. You got to be very careful how you talk about yourself and how you show up in the world. And look, if things are meant to change, then you have to change. And a lot of you, it's you're spending time with energy vampires. These people are sucking the life out of you. And these could be people on your team. This could be friends, coworkers. You just got to tell them, shush. If you don't have a solution, I don't need your opinion. The fact is, you're probably going to suck at some things in the early days, but it's a matter of how you look at it. Like, plot twist. Oh, that person joined someone else's team and not mine. Plot twist. That customer canceled. Plot twist. The person that said they were going online right now to order the kit, they disappeared. It's like the freaking aliens abducted them. Plot twist. What can I learn from this? Because you're either growing or you're learning. You're either winning or you're learning. You're not really losing. Yes, we say we failed our way to the top. We failed forward. But really during the failure, when we were down here and we were struggling, baby, we were riding that struggle bus. How many of you were riding the struggle bus? When we were down here, we were learning things that we needed when we got up here. I love when a leader says to me, I've never had an upline like you before. I've never had an upline, period. I've never had someone in the trenches like you. I've never had someone so available like you. It's because I know what it's like to be the redheaded stepchild. All about the lessons, right? What do I need to learn at this stage in my business? What do I need to learn at this stage in my career? What do I got to learn at this stage, right? What can I do to get better and not be bitter? Right? Like, don't get frustrated, get fascinated. Be like, okay, I'm not on the leaderboard this month. But the people that are on the leaderboard, what are they doing? What are they saying? How are they showing up? How are they selling so much product? How are they outproducing me? What are they posting in their stories? What are they posting on Reels? How do they show up? Energy. Energy freaking matters. I can't tie everything I do into one word, but if you forced me to, you said, John, tell me, what's the one thing that made you a multimillionaire? Passion. My freaking energy level is always through the roof. I don't show up with low energy. I don't show up with low energy. Why? Because I need to be there for you. I'm showing up for you, for your team, for your network. And by the way, you might say, well, John, I'm not on your team. I know. You might be on some other team, some other company. I'm showing up for you. Why? Because it's important to me. It's important to me and it should be important to you. How are you showing up every day? How are you showing up for your kids? How are you showing up for your spouse? You go to work all day or you work your business all day and then at night, and listen, I get tired too, right? And sometimes you do got to chill. But if you use all your energy just for your business or use all your energy for your job, that's like soul sucking. soul crushing, right? And then you work your business and you have no energy. Like, that's a problem. So we got to get in state, as Tony Robbins says. We got to get in state. We got to get fired up. And sometimes just law of inertia. When I don't feel like working out, I'm like, all right, let me go work out for 15 minutes. 2 hours goes by and I got a full workout in. I don't feel like doing a video, but I'm like, let me do a video for 5 minutes. 45 minutes goes by. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you watch my videos, you know I can go a while. But I'm just saying, like, law of inertia. A body at rest tends to stay at rest, and a body in motion tends to stay in motion. You got to get into it. You don't find motivation. You don't find motivation. Motivation finds you. You got to show up. You got to start doing the do. But again, you got these limiting beliefs. You're self-sabotaging. You're speaking negative thoughts. It's bad enough to think a negative thought and say, am I good at this? Am I worthy of this? And by the way, I did all these things. This is why I can speak I'm reading your mail, aren't I? I can speak about this because I did this. I still do this sometimes. There's people that I'm like, man, I'm not as good as, I can't speak like that person. I can't tell a story like that. I'm not going to, be as emotional. I don't have all these things memorized, like all these stories, like, right? We all have that in us, those limiting beliefs, that self-doubt. But then how powerful is it when you come across someone that has certainty, that has passion? Like I said, that would be the one word. I would tie it all up into one word. If I had to, if I was forced to, put a gun to my head, I'd say passion. Right? I show up with energy, with enthusiasm, with passion every single day because I have so much gratitude, because I know how hard it was to get here. It took me 7 years to crack a 6-figure income. At the time, I wasn't excited about it taking that long, but once I got there, I understood. I'm okay with it taking 16 years to become a millionaire. I remember sitting in those seats for years and years and years. Now, truth be told, the seats I was in, the vehicle I was in was the wrong vehicle. I was in an old school, vehicle. You can't fly to the moon in a car. But I remember sitting there being like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And it wasn't that I was necessarily doing something wrong. Maybe there were some stinking thinking was going on, maybe some limiting beliefs. But the truth was, and I was working my face off, right? I was hustling, I was doing all the things. But the truth was, like, I just didn't deserve it yet. And that's a tough pill to swallow. You don't deserve to be at the top of the comp plan yet. You don't deserve to be a 6-figure earner or a full-time network marketer yet. You haven't been consistent long enough. You're not that good at selling yet. Write this word down, yet. Yet's my favorite word when it comes to this conversation. You're not good at TikToks or Reels yet. Keep doing them. Keep showing up until it works. Not until it's hard, until it works. You're not a great leader yet. You're not a 6-figure earner yet. You're not a millionaire yet. These are all things you can learn over time. The key to success is work on you. How are you growing you every day? Positivity is sexy. Enthusiasm and passion is attractive. But some of you are so worried about what your brother-in-law thinks about you, your sister-in-law, or your spouse thinks about you, your coworkers. Again, shush. If you buy their opinion, you buy their bank account, you buy their lifestyle. You better be very careful who you're listening to, who you're spending time with. You got to protect your energy. There's just some people you're better off not spending time with. There's some people you're better off with unfriending in real life. Definitely unfriending on Facebook. Invite them to your VIP block party if you got to. You have way too much potential that you're wasting for me to witness it. I can't witness it. I can't witness you wasting your potential on your stinking thinking, feeling sorry for yourself, instead of having gratitude for the life you've been given. It doesn't matter how much you're struggling. You're still not struggling as much as the person that's not here anymore. I know that sounds like kind of dark, but like, as long as you woke up this morning with your heart beating, breath in your lungs, you're still better off than the people that aren't here anymore. Put that in perspective. So ask yourself this, write this down. What is stealing your joy every day? What is stealing your energy? Abundance is also sexy, right? The reason you get frustrated with things because you're living in scarcity. It's very obvious when someone's living in scarcity because they're trying to maintain the same customers and maintain the same team, and they're in management mode, right? They're just trying to manage their people instead of focusing on growth. Listen, I love customer acquisition. I think it's the greatest reason. It's probably the main reason my business is where it is today. And we're doing millions a month in revenue. And we're having more success than we've ever had because we have so many people out there selling products, promoting products, generating leads, generating sales from customers. Like, I've never seen anything like it. But at the end of the day, someone recruited those customer getters. So if you're not recruiting, you're not growing. And if you're constantly in scarcity, just trying to manage your existing team and maintain people at a certain rank and maintain your, like, that's not exciting. That's scarcity instead of living in abundance. and focusing on growth and focusing, like, go back to what you did when you first got started. Ignorance on fire, having 10, 20, 30 conversations a day, being excited. Some people say, John, I am excited. Tell your face. Tell your face. Like, how are you showing up in your stories every day? How are you showing up on Messenger? Again, back to energy. When people get energy clips, they should be called energy clips. Audio clips from me, they can hear my enthusiasm. They hear that I'm fired up. They hear my excitement. People are attracted to that. It gets people fired up. Even if I'm not fired up, I know that if I'm going to show up, I'm going to bring the energy. And like I said, the energy finds me. The motivation finds me because I start showing up that way. I step into abundance. I step into my purpose. I step into my passion. So some of you are struggling because you don't have energy. You just don't have excitement when you're talking to people. And it's kind of like they feel like you need them. You need them more than they need you. And you got to write this down. You got the cookie. You've got the cookie. They're lucky you're reaching out to them. They're lucky you're sharing this opportunity. Listen, step into your purpose. Step into your greatness. I'm giving you permission. You're holding back. So many of you hold back. Do you notice I don't hold back? I unleash the fury. These are all these little things, right? I can't give you everything I've done in 20 years, but I'm going to sprinkle in as much as I can in this conversation, all right? But the past doesn't matter. You need to be open to new possibilities. You're so fixated on what happened to you and feeling sorry for yourself. And by the way, some of you, I know you've got a checkered past, just like me. You've done some things or have had some things done to you that are inexcusable, horrible, god-awful things. But do you want to live in that, or do you want to release it and start being open to a new possibility? Like, how many people have had a similar experience to you, but they still made the best of it? It's like the guy, you ever heard the story of the guy that, him and his brother had an alcoholic father? The guy was asked in an interview, you're so successful, like you've gone out and made this amazing life for yourself. Like, how did you do that when your father was such an alcoholic and he was abusive and all these things? And he's like, how could I possibly follow in his footsteps? How could I possibly go down that path knowing what the outcome was? Like, I had to go in a different direction. Meanwhile, his brother was just like the father, alcoholic, abusive, had all these problems, overweight, out of shape, unhealthy, horrible, rotten, negative person. Sorry, but it's true. Same father, different possibilities, different perspective. Les Brown says, don't share your problems with people. Never share your problems. Half of them don't care, and the other half, they're glad it's you. Isn't that terrible? It's terrible, but it's true. Choose joy. Choose a new destiny. Start choosing new choices, new decisions, new people to hang out with, new books to read. Start getting involved in new opportunities and investing in yourself, like doing things that are scary. Most of you are stuck because you're stuck in your comfort zone. You're doing the same old things every day, expecting a different result. You know what they call that? The definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. The decisions we make us. And I'm not just talking about the big decisions. I'm talking little decisions. Should I eat some potato chips or should I eat an apple? Should I go for a run or watch Netflix? Should I do my follow-ups with my existing customers and, some of my, prospects that are on the fence? Or should I just reach out to my one big line and reach out to those people? Because it's easier to talk to the people that are working. It's easier to work with the workers. And look, I get it. It's easier just to talk to the ones that are excited. It's easy to talk to the ones that are already in, but the key is to talk to new people. Reach out to your chicken list. Reach out to the people you're afraid to talk to make your palms sweaty. You have to make these decisions, like what matters most. Your dreams, your goals, your future.